Alright, hello guys. Some of you have taken a trip with me to Mole Island before, and if you're still listening to this one, that means you survived. Hopefully had a good time. If not, I'm sorry, but guess what? We're heading back. It's a wonderful vacation we take you on. You're flying through the air, and lo and behold, thunderstorms, turbulence, things go wrong. Your airplane comes on down and manages to hit this nasty rock here. Your plane's all screwed up in the back, wings broken. Yes, it's an airplane. All crashed. You all swim out, get to the shore. Some lovely palm trees. Kind of. Etc. Okay, so you're on this island, but it's actually Graham Island. And on Graham Island, they are really nice and generous people, and they're, for some reason, going to give you some of their money. They're really nice. They give each one of you 300 grams of their money, which in this case will make KBR. So Graham, KBR Island. Cool. So you've got money, they've got hotels, you guys get one, you're chilling, having a good time. But then you realize, well, it's been a while since we got off the plane, and you're really hungry. But Graham Island, they don't sell any food. You have to go over to another island, they say Mole Island. Yeah, they got food. Restaurants, grocery stores, you name it, they have it. So you only go over there, but they don't have the same currency. So you start walking, you have to convert your currency into something else. Of course, it's moles. They have moles of stuff, and so they tell you that 1 mole of X, an unknown variable, in this case would be KBR, equals the molar mass of X. In this case, 119 grams. That's what happens when you add up potassium and bromine on your periodic table. You get 119 grams. So if we know we have 300 grams of KBR, and we know that there's 119 grams of KBR, that's equal to 1 mole of KBR, we can convert it to get moles of KBR. If we did this step, we took 300 divided by 119, we'd have our answer of moles of KBR. But that's not where our journey stops, because it turns out that, after you've eaten and you slept there a few days, great, but your clothes are starting to get kind of ratty. That's going to cause some problems. So you go, all right, mole people, what's up? Our clothes are falling apart. You all look really nice and fine, dressed lovely. Where do we get some clothes? Well, they go, we don't sell clothes. But there is another island that does. Over yonder, you can see in the horizon, there is a little blip on there. It says, they go, what's another mole island? And you go, awesome, it's a mole island. We can use the exact same money. We don't have to convert it. It's going to be so easy. They go, yeah, not so much. We're Mole X Island. They're Mole Y Island. They use a different kind of currency. So while you're Mole X, in this case, KBR, they have an entirely different kind of currency. Theirs is going to be calcium bromide. Why put that in parentheses? I have no idea. We don't need it, but it'll work out. And to convert it, we don't know how to do that. We have to figure it out. They go, you can, but you need to know the equation. So you have to have both this KBR, plus they say KBR reacts with calcium nitrate. And we know since there's 2 ionic compounds, it must be a double replacement reaction. You go, duh, Mr. Shipway, we got that. We know that the metal, potassium, and the metal calcium are going to switch spots. But not with their little numbers down below. So K, you're going to pair up with NO3, calcium with bromine to make K, which has a 1 plus charge on our periodic tables. And NO3, it's got a 1 minus. They're even. We just need 1 of each. Perfect. And then when calcium mixes, calcium has a 2 plus charge, bromine has a 1 minus, so we need more bromines to make it neutral. Okay, so we got that, but guess what? The equation's not balanced. There's 2 bromines over here, only 1 on this side. So we go, uh-oh, we got to put a 2 out in front of here. Now there's 2 Ks and 2 Brs. Our Brs are good, but our Ks are not yet balanced. We need a 2 on the product side here to make that balance. 2 Ks, 2 NO3s. There's already 2 NO3s. Awesome. We are good to go. Now we have an equation to go, okay, now you made an equation. Now you can balance, or now you have a balanced equation. Now you can convert from one thing to the next. You go, cool. How are we going to do that? Well, you're going to use the coefficients from the balanced equation. Oh, let's go back. There we go. Balanced. That's not pretty, but balanced. I'm going to do equation in shorthand. Just coming out of space. So they say, all right, you have moles of KBr. You don't want moles of KBr. So you're going to put it on the bottom. So it'll cancel. Moles, KBr. Awesome. And we're trying to get to a different island. We're trying to go from moles of X to moles Y. So moles of KBr to moles of calcium bromide. So we're trying to get to, it's always going to go on top. Okay, now look, in this first step here, we had 1 mole, only 1 mole in that step. The other one was grams. So of course, that moles got a 1. Now, in the second step, there are 2 moles, which means they might get 1, they might not. It completely depends on that balanced equation we just made. So when we look at that equation, we go, all right, KBr in the equation is right here. It's got a 2 in front of it. That means we need 2 KBRs to make this many calcium bromides. There's nothing in front, but we know that really means there's a 1 there. So we need 2 moles of KBr to make 1 mole of calcium bromide, which makes sense. Calcium bromide has 2 bromines, so we need 2 bromines here to make that happen. Okay, so now we're in moles of calcium bromide. That's awesome. That's exactly what we need to buy some clothes. Go in the store, you spend 3 hours looking at new clothes, getting it, buying new shirts, new pants, new swimsuits, good to go. You are fully clothed for a long time to go. That is phenomenal. Except, as everyone knows, that new shirt and pants you bought, you can't complete the outfit without a good pair of shoes. And of course, Mole Y Island, or Calcium Bromide Island, does not have any shoes. That would be far too simple. But the nice people on Mole Y Island say there is one more island way across the sea that does sell shoes. So of course you go, alright, well, what is this island called? And they go, oh, of course, it's Graham Island again. You go, no. We've been to Graham Island before. It doesn't sell any shoes. And they go, no, that was Graham A Island, which had KBR for units. Graham B Island is Calcium Bromide Island. And of course, when we're going from moles of calcium bromide to grams of calcium bromide, you have to have another ratio. So still here, 1 mole of Y, in this case CaBr2, equals the molar mass of Y. In this case, calcium bromide, which equals calcium's about 40, bromine's about 70.9, so 141.8, 181.8, about. 88 technically if you use the calcium's rounding, or not rounding. Okay, so now we know those two are equal. if we have moles of calcium bromide down below and we don't want it, we need to get rid of that unit as well. So moles of calcium bromide. And we know with this ratio, that mole of calcium bromide is equal to grams of calcium bromide. And in this equation, there's only one mole. So in this step, just one mole, we put 1 with moles. But we know that 1 mole of it is equal to that molar mass of it, which we found to be 181.88 grams of calcium bromide. Now if we look at this, way back when our moles of KBr cancel with moles of KBr, and our grams of KBr cancel with those grams of KBr. And our moles of calcium bromide now cancel with those moles of calcium bromide, so that's also gone. The only thing we have left that's not crossed out is our grams of calcium bromide, which means we're finally on the island we need. We can get from one island to the next. We can solve this and figure out how much money we have, of course in gram B, or calcium bromide's units, how much their money we have. So, in our calculator we go, all right, 300, that's our original amount. We're going to take that, divided by 119 because it's on the bottom. Then again, divide by 2 because it's on the bottom. Then multiply by 181.88 grams. And we get a final answer of 229.26 grams of calcium bromide. That would be our final answer for how much money we have left. Now, let's say when you're there, you end up buying a lot of shoes. And you end up having only at the end 50 grams of calcium bromide left over. But you need to get back to sleep on gram A island or gram KBr island to do it. So if they give you 50 grams of calcium bromide, or whatever they give you in the question, you start with. Put it at the top of our chart. We're trying to get back from here, from gram B island to gram A island. But note, there's no bridge between them. You can never, ever go between grams of one thing and grams of another. You always have to go through the bridges to go through moles first. So from gram B island to mole B island, or gram Y, those really should be all the same letters, I guess. Mole A. So from gram B to mole A, from gram B to mole B island, we have to cancel the unit we have. We have to get rid of that grams of calcium bromide. That's not showing up so well, but it should say grams of calcium bromide. And we know based on our bridge, our equality, that those grams are equal to moles of calcium bromide. There's only one mole in our equation. The mole gets the 1. The mass we already looked up for calcium bromide from the periodic table is 181.88 grams. Those are 8s, I swear. That unit cancels. We're in moles of calcium bromide. Cool, but we're still on this island here. We need to get from there to mole A island, which means we have to do a mole ratio. We'll have moles of calcium bromide on the bottom. That's a 2. And then we're going from moles of that into our moles of KBr. And since they're both moles, there's more than one mole, they don't necessarily get 1. Those numbers come from our balanced equation. Those coefficients from the balanced equation. So KBr had that 2 in front of it, so it gets a 2. Calcium bromide has a 1 in front of it, so it gets a 1. And then the moles of calcium bromide cancel. Sweet. Well, the question was asking you to try and get to grams, gram A island, or grams of KBr. Since our only non-canceled unit right now is moles of KBr, we're not there yet. Once it equals the unit we want, we're done. But right now we need to cancel moles of KBr. If it'll write moles of KBr, there we go. And we can go from moles of KBr to grams of KBr. And that bridge says we know that 1 mole of it equals the molar mass, 119 grams. Again, there's only 1 mole, so mole gets the number 1. Moles cancel. We're left in grams of KBr, which is exactly what we want. That's what the question was looking for. That's the unit we're looking for, so we stop what we call stoichiometry, and we're going to just do the math. So we take our 50 divided by 181.88 times 2, because the 2 is on top of our equation, times 119, because it's on top, and we get 65.43 grams of course, KBr. The only thing left, not canceled. That would be the answer to your problem. Although now that you realize you should also probably have another problem, you've spent most of your money. Your new problem is you're on these islands, you're stuck, you got to find a job. But hopefully that helps you understand Stoic a little better and makes it a bit interesting.